The Catastrophe continues the N.J. Dawood translation of Al-Quran. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, the catastrophe. And what is the catastrophe? Would that you knew what the catastrophe is. The mood and Ad denied the last judgment. By a deafening shout was the mood destroyed, and Ad by a howling, violent gale, which he let loose on them for 7 nights and 8 successive days, that you might have seen them lying dead as though they have been hollow trunks of palm trees. Can you see but one of them still alive? Pharaoh and those before him, and the inhabitants of the ruined cities, also committed sin and disobeyed their Lord's apostle. With a terrible scourge he smote them. When the flood rose high, we carried you in the floating ark, making the event a warning so that all attentive ears might heed it. When the trumpet sounds a single blast, when the earth with all its mountains is raised high, and with one mighty crash is shattered into dust, on that day the dread event will come to pass. Now, I've heard this weird trumpet sound like 6 times since moving here, like some sort of Tibetan trumpet, like for minutes. It's always at night before before a Yellowstone earthquake is felt. Yeah, and I've never heard the sound anywhere else. But this isn't entirely talking about that, but I might worry if there was a 7th, right? Frail and tottering, the sky will be rent asunder on that day, and the angel will stand on all its sides with 8 of them, carrying the throne of your Lord above their heads. On that day you shall be utterly exposed, and all your secrets shall be brought to light. He who is given his book in his right hand will say, here it is, read my book. I knew that I should come to my reckoning. His shall be a blissful state and a lofty garden, with clusters of fruit within his reach. We shall say to him, eat and drink to your heart's content, your reward for what you did in days gone by. But he who is given his book in his left hand will say, would that my book were not given me, would that I knew nothing of my account, would that my death had ended all, nothing has my wealth availed me, and I am bereft of all my power. We shall say, lay hold of him and bind him, burn him in the fire of hell, then fasten him with a chain of 70 cubits long, for he did not believe in the law of the Most Great, nor did he care to feed the destitute. Today he shall be friendless. Here filth shall be his food, the filth which sinners eat. I swear by all that you can see and all that is hidden from your view, that this is the utterance of a noble messenger. It is no poet's speech, scant is your faith. It is no soothsayer's divination, how little you reflect. It is a revelation from the Lord of the universe. Now, you can tell some of that stuff about, like, the people who New Age combine stuff and come up with their own scriptures. Sometimes they have jumbled dreams. I have jumbled dreams too, but I'm not going about, whatever. And soothsayers is in, you're not sahar, you're not working with the spirits, and you're not, it's not priestcraft. Because there's distinctive marks of some of that. Had he invented lies concerning us, we would have seized him by the right hand and severed his heart's vein. Not one of you could have protected him. It is but an admonition to the righteous. Well know we that there are some among you who will deny it. It is the despair of the unbelievers. It is the indubitable truth. Praise then the name of your Lord, the Almighty. So, was it the right hand takes in and the left hand puts out? That circuitry flow thing, the right hand and left hand path, the whole yoga tantra thing. It's not something that people can tell apart in that respect. And So we end much the same thing. So it's an admonition to the righteous, and it's revelation, but the unbelievers are denying it. I'm comparing it with the last one. It's the despair of the unbelievers, the indubitable truth. Okay, but an admonition to mankind, so it's in a different way than the name of your Lord, the Almighty. And we see, instead of the whole he's insane thing, well, what if it's worse? Well, there's going to be consequences for that, right? And the heart's vein, isn't that mentioned in Surah 52? God's closer than your jugular vein when the two witnesses are beside you, or something like that, right? Surah 50, ayat 15, is it 15 or 13? Or I don't remember.